Let's get ready to rumble!
Hello everybody and welcome. It is me, Snooze VGC, and I will be your host for another money match this week. Today on the mic, I'm being joined by that one relative that freaks you out at every family reunion, Uncle Lou. How you doing, man?
Hey, what is up, everybody? Good to be here.
So Uncle Lou was kind enough to join me today on the mic and help me get a little bit practice with this money match. But today we have Kyle Gottlob versus Ryan Hebert. Kyle is somebody from my local scene, and Ryan is somebody that I've met recently and I've seen around in the community, but haven't had the pleasure of getting really personal with him. Do you know anything about Ryan, Uncle Lou?
Ryan is more known for his experience in commentating regionals than he is in actually playing in matches. So I think it's going to be interesting to see, you know, if he or how he approaches the game, like how he approaches his play style. And since I don't think I've ever really seen him play per se, but I've definitely seen him on the mic just to see how he handles his business.
Cool. Well, I'm excited to see these two battle. As you can see on the team preview that we have right now, there is a Cobalion that is on Kyle's team. I actually don't know really anything about Cobalion. I've never used it in a competitive format or even in just like gameplay. So I know that in this situation, though, it can be pretty good against what Ryan is bringing to the table.
It's pretty interesting, right? I think most VGC players probably will agree with me when they say the only time they've ever seen or used Cobalion has been in Ranbats. I don't think I've ever seen one in VGC ever. And it's interesting here, specifically, kind of, because it's got Steel Ice typing, which is wait, that's typing, right?
I think it's still something. I think it might.
Fighting?
I'm still fighting. I honestly don't know. That's why I'm so excited to see what it can do.
Another thing that's kind of interesting about his team is that there's no Incineroar on it, right? It's super interesting to see. Most every single team has just Incineroar thrown on it.
I mean, it has like 80% usage in the format, so it's interesting to see a team that doesn't ever use one.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see like how he approaches the matchup in general without Incineroar as well. I think he definitely wants to be bringing Metagross, though, both of his restricteds, and you could probably make a case for Mungus. Maybe it's not the best. Whimsicott. I'm not quite sure what you could do with that spot. Honestly, in some situations, you could even possibly Valiant, and like if it's Snarl and Incineroar, I think it has Justified, right?
Right.
Valiant,
so it can get those boosts from Dark Type taps. So
yeah.
Maybe he uses it as sort of an Incineroar counter. I think that'll be really cool to see. I mean, I could see it doing that. It's faster. It's part fighting. Gets access to close combat. Can hit fairy types really hard, like Xerneas with Iron Head.
Yeah, so all right, let's go ahead and get into this.
So let's go ahead and get into game one. Okay, so game one, we're getting started. We have a Tapu Fini and Incineroar from Ryan's side, and we have Whimsicott and Cobalion. So this is almost like this could almost be like a beat up Terrakion situation here. Oh, with the quick guard.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking when I initially saw. I was like, it could possibly have beat up and then beat up and go for any type of attack. I didn't know it got quick guard either.
Yeah, I didn't know it got quick guard. That's a really good combo actually, because it almost can, if your opponent doesn't know about it, you can just get a really solid beat up off like Kyle's getting off right now and just max out your Cobalion.
I'd probably go for any type of fighting type attack, or you
can just go straight for the Z move and just absolutely demolish the Incineroar.
But now with these two Icy Winds gone off, both of these Pokemon are a lot slower now, and Ryan does have a chance to get a free switch in. He decides to bring in the Rayquaza here. He can't really bring in Xerneas and just go for Geomancy, obviously, because this Whimsicott still has Encore potential.
Right.
But now we're in a situation where Kyle
he
can beat everything up on the field here.
Okay, so also with the Tailwind up, those two speed drops probably don't matter too much because he's basically just at neutral speed.
And even though he was under speeding the Rayquaza power, not enough to pick up the KO there.
And
you'd imagine Dragon Ascent might have been able to pick it up.
right, it makes me wonder if it's more of a special Rayquaza than a physical one. We have seen those variants before, but it's tough to say. I mean, I would probably be being in Ryan's shoes right now, probably never really battling against Cobalion himself. It would be difficult to really know what the best move would have been to choose there. Obviously, Earth Power would have been super effective. Maybe Dragon Ascent was neutral with the Steel type.
Was actually a couple interesting turns there because switching the Whimsicott off the field into Metagross made it so that Xerneas maybe would have had a chance to just get Geomancy up, which obviously is kind of scary. And then also at the same time, by picking up the KO on the Cobalion, he gives the free switching back to the Amoonguss so that he can also encore.
The Psych Up. Oh my gosh. This is almost just like an absolute like Xerneas counter squad right now.
And this is in Psych Up Metagross. The Meteor Mash missing is unfortunate, you know, especially because I mean Iron Head is an option. I'm not entirely sure on like Meteor Mash Iron Head calcs though, but I mean Meteor Mash is getting attack boosts. Nobody's asking questions.
Right. I mean, it comes with the territory of you have the chance to miss, but also the chance to up your attack, which can really change a game in your favor.
Yeah, but being able to get that free switch in back into the Whimsicott really was the nail in the coffin here for Ryan, being able to encore that Xerneas yet again.
Yeah, and that Finny, you know, not really doing a whole lot for Ryan that game. It was able to get off some icy wins, but that was really about it. It seems just like Kyle just ignored the Finny the whole time and just doubled into the partner slot most of the time. So I just think maybe if he can utilize the Finny a little bit better, or maybe even just bring something else that can give a little bit more pressure for this really offensive team that Kyle seems that's been bringing with that Cobalion and beat up, maybe he can give him a better chance.
Normally, the way that the Zerndon versus Ray Zern matchup interacts is it's almost beneficial for the Ray Zern team to just lead Finny and Rayquaza. Typically, because if the Xerneas wants to go for like any form of Geomancy, fake out Geomancy, Rage Powder Geomancy, Haze is always there to pretty much deny the Xerneas the boost, which then kind of lets your Xerneas take late game. And if there's a Groudon there, then sorry, you don't lead Finny Rayquaza, you lead Finny Nihilego. Because Nihilego can also help against stuff like Salamence, but I mean, there's no Salamence here. There's also no Nihilego here. But you can switch in the switch, or you can threaten the switch into Ray and Scald. Groudon is there, but there's no Nihilego on there. And in addition, the other team, there's no Salamence. So this typical way that these cores normally interact is completely thrown out the window. And because of that, so many adjustments that you would normally have to make as compared to what you're typically used to use to like just throwing out there turn 1 and just clicking the same buttons you always do like turn 0, turn 1, and turn 2.
Right.
And I think the huge mix-up here that's interesting, that like changes the entire shape of the matchup, is like the Whimsicott Cobalion, right? Especially with Quick Guard there.
Exactly. I was going to say that I feel like that game really took a turn for the worse for Ryan turn 1 when it was able to Quick Guard and beat up. I feel like that just gave Kyle the absolute momentum to just kind of run away with the game at that point.
If he wants to adjust to it, I mean, he can probably... He has the option of leading Amoonguss, maybe to try to shut down that mode. Maybe I think you don't want to be leading Zern to kill it. Is like I mean, great, right?
Right, and that's going to be something
one way that he could stop it.
Yeah, he's going to have to really think about how he wants to deal with that lead coming up in Game 2, which we are going to jump in right now and see what adjustments can be made. Okay, so we have a different lead coming out here with Rayquaza and Incineroar, and we have the same Cobalion and Whimsicott. So Kyle adopting my personal philosophy that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Lead it again. And so it felt like it was a good option last game, so he's going to go ahead and go for this game. And actually, he's just going to double protect. I think he knew that since he revealed Quick Guard last game that there wasn't going to be a fake out, and the best option for him was just to protect, burn whatever, scout whatever move was going to happen, and then make an adjustment or a call in the next turn, which it looks like he's just going to go straight for the beat up and start getting damage off.
And that was actually like a huge reveal also with like the Fiery Z as well, and the fact that Whimsicott carries Protect because that narrows down tons of moves that it could possibly use. But I'm imagining that the Dragon Ascent, Dragon Ascent actually going into Whimsicott instead of the Cobalion, giving it a chance to probably get off an attack on this Rayquaza to get it. Ryan making a defensive switch there, bringing in the Lele for the Incineroar, probably anticipating the fighting type move going to that slot.
Right.
But yeah, now at this point in the game, he's going to be able to get Tailwind up, probably bring in his Xerneas, or even his Groudon at this point, since Rayquaza is mainly used to help deal with Groudon. Yeah, exactly, there it is.
Right, yeah.
With Rayquaza being like down so low, he's lost one of his main Groudon checks and is going to have to hope to find a way to finagle around this.
Right, and it just seems like this whole team revolves around Psych Up. I mean, you saw the Metagross had it, this Groudon has it. It's just all about boosting that Cobalion and psyching up the stats with the teammates, and that was just an absolute. That's just not what you want to see. You do not want to see a Groudon get +2 attack for free like that, and then go into. Yeah, it's just that was an amazing play.
This Psych Up Groudon, that was actually gorgeous. I'm sorry, Ryan, if you're watching this.
Yeah, and, right, and it's just, and Ryan, you know, I honestly. This team is blowing me away. I wouldn't know what to expect. I would never think that Psych Up would be on a Groudon. So that surprise factor that Kyle had on the team is just amazing. And he was just able to pilot it so well, making the right calls. You know, he could have protected. And I think that maybe Ryan thought he would have protected that Cobalion when he Dragon Ascended into the Whimsicott. Yeah. And so making that call, if it was a call to not do that and just go straight for an attack, was such a great move, and I just think he played it so well, and just paced himself with each call to set himself up in a good position for endgame to get that Psych Up with that Groudon.
The thing is with that like Protect Tailwind play, it can't really go wrong, right? Because if you don't kill the Whimsicott, then no matter what, he can beat up an attack on the next turn. But if you do kill the Whimsicott, then he gets a free switch into either like Groudon or Xerneas. So it was like, no matter the scenario, it was like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So what I was thinking was like from team preview, like what maybe Ryan could have done is lead like Rayquaza plus Finny or Rayquaza plus something else. And turn one, maybe try to like for Dragon Ascent as you switch into Incineroar, or just try to kill the Cobalion as you're switching in Incineroar. That way you can try to use your fake out pressure to stall out any potential Tailwind. But of course, I mean, his lead was fine. Like, Jerome was like leading the Incineroar. But it's honestly like a really like it's not an ideal matchup.
Is that not a hype team to watch though? Like Cobalion, like that. I just think that's so cool to just see this Cobalion come in and basically be like a pseudo Terrakion and just start going for the headbutts in the close combats. I think Ryan knew that he had to get rid of that Cobalion, revealing, you know, the Firium Z, trying to just get it off the field as quick as possible, because it is almost a staple of the team with Psych Up on not only Metagross, but Groudon. So if you can get that off the field, it opens up the opportunity for you to not have to worry so much about the boosts, but to just kind of play the game. But I just thought that was just so much fun to watch for me. I just thought that was such a cool team.
It's super clever, and typically the way that most Xerneas Rayquaza teams match up against Xerneas and Groudon teams is that most of the time the Xerneas Groudon team is setting up Tailwind with whatever their Tailwind setter is. Usually it's Salamence, in this case it's Whimsicott. And then the Xerneas and Rayquaza team usually has to stall Tailwind for a couple turns, and then is in a position to where it can sweep up and kind of clean the game from there, as the Zern Ray matchup typically dominates over the Zern Dawn, or not dominates, but has like a favorable matchup.
Right. Yeah.
But in this situation, you can't really stall out the Tailwind's consistency.
What are you gonna do?
If you try to stall it out, you're just gonna get beat up.
Right.
Well, the Cabalion's gonna get
and if you protect wrong, he just gets more boosts. You know, he can beat up again, or he can psych up with the partner.
And exactly.
It's like, what are you gonna do? I mean, I don't think really any of us in Ryan's situation could have played that really much better, not knowing all the surprise factors that Kyle's team had. I just feel like that is such a creative team.
Super cool. Everybody out there, take the ladder by storm with your friendly neighborhood Cobalion.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if after this video goes live that we see a few more Cobalion on the ladder and teams kind of stemming from that. But that's going to be the video for today, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this money match between Kyle Gottlob and Ryan Hebert. And today, Kyle came out on top, winning the big $20 pot and sealing himself as a winner in the money match series. Thank you, Uncle Lou, for joining me on the mic today. I'm SnoozVGC, and that's going to be all.